Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Flood of Light. Now this indie game has been on the eShop for quite a while and was released for several other systems including the iOS. And even though it has been on sale several times over the last couple of months, I finally got myself a copy to try it out. And in all honesty, I really wasn't that surprised by what I found. Even though Flood of Light does have a fairly interesting backstory, that you, the protagonist as a human girl, are somehow meant to be the savior of this barren robot world. A world that has been covered in darkness and flooded with 1,000 meters of rain and completely abandoned by humanity. And it's your duty as this main character savior, called a guide by the robot population, to use your mysterious powers of light in order to cause the water to recede so that this long dead and forgotten city can be revived. However, whatever associations you may be making about a futuristic long forgotten city, you can probably push them to the side if they have anything to do with combat. Flood of Light is a puzzler through and through, and that is literally all there is to the game. And if you're a fan of the puzzle genres, there is absolutely nothing around to spoil this puzzly nirvana. Simple controls and a non-intrusive backstory leave you to solve puzzle after puzzle until your brain literally hurts. Divided up into 9 major levels, all accessible by a rooftop elevator, the puzzles in Flood of Light get progressively more difficult and intricate as you proceed down to the ground floor. Initially, you'll just be getting a handle on using your unique light manipulation ability, but as you progress through the game, there will be more and more things that add to the level of difficulty of the puzzles. Not just in the puzzles themselves, but attempting to get extras or unlockables that can only be gained if the puzzle is solved exactly correctly. And that's due mostly to the way this unique light ability works. The action button causes a small field to appear around the main character, where any light within that field will be drawn to her. Holding the right bumper and using the left joystick, you can also reallocate that light to any lamp around you. However, every time you pull light from a source, you will take all of the available light, and likewise, every time you give light to a source, all of the light you've collected will go to that source. This means that in certain situations where you might need to put one orb of light in one place and one orb of light in another, figuring out how to divide them might be its own mystery. However, as these types of mechanics become more and more imperative to gameplay, the small robots that you encounter throughout your trek through the city will enlighten you to more and more game mechanics. One of the more difficult game mechanics that's introduced quite late in the game is using 2 different types of light. Yellow light only being able to be used above water, while blue light can be used submerged. So if you already thought that making it that far in the game was difficult, from about level 4 on down to the ground floor becomes exponentially more challenging. But if you start to get frustrated or stuck, just take a step back, and the solutions generally stand out to you. All the puzzles in the game really are pretty simple, but none of them are easy. So if you're just trying to make it to the end of the game, Flood of Light may take you between 3 and 5 hours, and maybe upwards of 6 if you're trying to get the completionist ending. And that being said, yes, surprisingly enough, there actually are multiple endings. And since each level can be selected on its own and replayed at your leisure, there's definitely a good bit of replay value if you are trying to get that perfect ending. Well, I know it was quick, but that is about the end of the review for Flood of Light on the Switch eShop. So if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. But for a little more content, you can follow us on Twitter. And if you want to help me make these reviews, we do have a Patreon. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.